Have you ever considered that the smallest actions you take today could dramatically change your future? This question is the crux of a concept, an idea, an invaluable lesson that has the power to alter the course of your life. This is the principle of the compound effect. The compound effect. Sounds intricate, doesn't it? But let me assure you, it's as simple as it is profound. It's the principle of reaping enormous rewards from a series of small, smart choices. It's the power of incremental growth. Imagine a snowball perched at the top of a hill, dwarfed by the grandeur of the landscape around it. It's small, seemingly insignificant, hardly noticeable. But with a gentle nudge, it begins to roll down the hill. With each rotation, the snowball picks up more snow, growing larger, more significant. The descent is slow at first, but as the snowball grows, so does its momentum. Before you know it, what started as a tiny, inconspicuous snowball has transformed into an unstoppable force of nature. Now let's apply this analogy to our lives. Each day we make decisions, some big, some small. We often overlook the small ones, considering them to be inconsequential, but just like the snowball, these small decisions, these tiny actions start to accumulate over time. They form habits, shape characters, define destinies. That extra page of a book you decide to read each night, the additional minute you spend learning a new language, the single piece of junk food you choose not to eat may seem trivial in isolation, but over time these small, smart choices compound. They grow, they gather momentum, and they become your life's unstoppable force. The compound effect is always at work, whether we realize it or not. It's silently shaping our lives, one decision at a time. It's the small, seemingly insignificant choices that we make every day that define our future. And so our journey begins with the understanding that every decision, no matter how small, holds the potential for a significant future. Imagine that you're at a crossroads. One path leads to immediate gratification, the other to long-term success. Which do you choose? In the grand tapestry of our lives, it's the small threads, the minute choices that often make the most significant impact. Consider the story of Olivia. Olivia was an ordinary woman with a dream. She wanted to run a marathon, a feat that seemed impossible given her sedentary lifestyle. Yet she made the choice to start small, to make a change in her daily routine. Each day she chose to wake up an hour earlier to put on her running shoes and step out of the door. At first she could only manage a slow jog around the block. It was challenging, and it would have been easy to revert to her old habits. But she chose the path of long-term success over immediate comfort. Over time, these small daily sacrifices began to add up. Olivia's stamina increased, her pace quickened, and she started to run longer distances. Months later, she crossed the finish line of her first marathon, achieving a goal that once seemed unattainable. Each small choice she made, each step she took, led her to that moment of triumph. Let's consider another example. Meet Robert, an aspiring entrepreneur. Like Olivia, he began with a dream to build a successful business. Robert knew that this would require sacrifices. He chose to invest his savings into his startup, to work late nights and early mornings, to learn from each failure and press on. Robert's choices were not easy, but they were aligned with his long-term vision. Years later, Robert's business is thriving. His success was not the result of a single monumental decision, but a series of small, consistent choices. Every late night, every dollar invested, every failure turned into a lesson was a step towards his goal. So when you stand at that crossroads, remember Olivia and Robert. Remember that small choices, though they may not offer immediate gratification, can lead to extraordinary results. The small choices we make each day may seem insignificant, but they hold the power to shape our destiny. Did you know that up to 40% of our daily actions are not decisions but habits? Imagine you're a gardener, and each day you venture out to your plot of land. You have a basket of seeds, each one a potential plant, a potential burst of life. Now these seeds represent our habits, each one a small action we perform daily, possibly without even realizing it. Every morning, the gardener plants a seed in the ground. Every evening he waters it. This is a small action taking only a few moments of his day, but he does it consistently, day in and day out. The seed begins to sprout, a tiny green shoot pushing its way up through the soil. This is the power of habits. Small, consistent actions like the gardener watering his seed can have a profound impact over time. In Darren Hardy's Compound Effect, he explores this concept in depth. He tells us that it's not the big decisions that shape our lives, but the small, seemingly inconsequential ones. The habits we form, the daily actions we take, these are the seeds we plant in the garden of our lives. And just like a gardener, we must nurture these seeds, we must water them, give them sunlight, protect them from the harsh elements. Over time, these small actions compound, resulting in a lush, thriving garden. But remember, not all seeds are beneficial. Some may grow into weeds, choking out the healthy plants. These are our bad habits, and just like weeds, they can overrun our garden if we're not careful. So it's crucial to choose our habits wisely, to plant seeds that will grow into healthy, vibrant plants, to nurture positive actions and weed out the negative ones. Remember, each habit is a seed. Each time you choose to hit the snooze button or opt for a salad over a burger, you're planting a seed. And over time, these seeds grow, they compound, and they shape the garden of your life. Our habits are the seeds from which our future grows. Have you ever noticed how a train, once in motion, is incredibly hard to stop? This is the power of momentum, a force that Darren Hardy discusses in The Compound Effect. It's an important part of the formula for success. Imagine a snowball perched on top of a hill. It's small, insignificant, hardly a threat. But then it nudges forward, rolling slowly at first, but with each rotation it picks up more snow, growing in size. That's the magic of momentum. Each small action propels the snowball further, faster, until it's a formidable force barreling down the hill. Now, let's put this concept into the context of our everyday lives. Think about a man named Jack. Jack is an ordinary guy with an ordinary job, but he has extraordinary dreams. He dreams of running a marathon, even though he's never run more than a mile in his life. Jack knows he can't run 26 miles overnight, so he starts small. He runs 1 mile a day, every day. At first it's hard, he's winded, his legs ache, but he doesn't stop. Each day he laces up his running shoes and hits the pavement. After a few weeks he notices something. Running 1 mile isn't as hard as it used to be, so he pushes himself to run 2 miles, then 3, then 4. Before he knows it, Jack is running 10 miles a day, and it feels as easy as that first mile did. That's momentum. Jack's story illustrates how consistent effort can build momentum towards success. It's not about massive leaps, but rather continuous small steps that create an unstoppable force. Just like the train, once momentum is on your side, it's hard to stop. The compound effect teaches us that momentum matters. It's not about the size of the step you take, but the decision to keep moving forward, to keep adding to your momentum. Once momentum is on your side, there is no telling how far you can go. So, are you ready to harness the power of the compound effect in your own life? It's easy to overlook the impact of small actions. The crumbs of effort we lay down day after day may seem insignificant in isolation, but just as a river carves a canyon, these seemingly minor decisions can shape the course of our lives. The compound effect is the principle that reiterates this ideal, the realization that every decision, no matter how small, is a step towards your goal. In the course of this review, we've dissected the key points about the compound effect, highlighting the power of small choices, habits, and momentum. Remember, it's the little choices that, when made consistently, lead to big changes, whether it's choosing to read a chapter of a book instead of scrolling through social media or swapping that daily soda for water. These small decisions can lead to significant transformations over time. Habits, too, hold immense power. They are the routines that keep us grounded, the patterns that shape our days and ultimately our lives. By nurturing positive habits and eliminating the negative ones, we can drive the compound effect in our favor. And let's not forget about momentum. Once you start making those small choices and cultivating positive habits, momentum takes over. It's like a snowball rolling downhill, growing larger and faster with every turn. It's the force that propels you forward, helping you to maintain consistency and progress towards your goals. So what are you waiting for? It's time to harness the power of the compound effect in your life. Start small, build your habits, keep the momentum going, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. The power to shape your future lies in your hands. Remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, comment with your thoughts, and check the description for more details. And always remember, the smallest actions can have the most profound effects.